The erudite Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius, standing before a crowded Colosseum, once cried out, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." In fact, it requires an artful life because being prepared to withstand sudden and unexpected attacks. The Art of War, written by Sun Tzu even before the Bible was printed, advised to always be prepared for unexpected and unscheduled attacks, because the enemy can always do his best with what is unexpected. Never more of a good example do we find on September the 11th, 2001, where 26 Al-Qaeda terrorists conspired to carry out a suicide mission on United States soil. In the end, the FBI reported that there were 19 hijackers in all, 5 on 3 flights and 4 on the 4th. And over the span of a 12-hour period, the Pentagon in Washington was on fire. An airplane spiraled out of control in Virginia plains, and 2 towers had fallen in New York City, killing 3,000 individuals, all trying to collectively take the country's breath away. In fact, since the attack, New Yorkers have led the nation in high blood pressure and heart attacks, and as quiet as it's kept, what is not being put into the equation is how the environment has impacted emotions. Because when you reside in an atmosphere, when you don't know when the next bomb is going to drop or when the next attack is going to take place, it is sure to influence your disposition or your ability to breathe. According to the National Institute of Health, unnecessary weight causes mechanical compression on the diaphragm, the lungs, and the chest cavity, which could lead to restrictive pulmonary damage. Okay, you're not with me. Let me come down your street. Extra weight in the chest and in the abdomen increases work for the muscles to control, and it makes it harder to breathe. It also causes pulmonary hypertension, which is high blood pressure in the arteries to your lungs. All right, let me come down your driveway. When you breathe in less oxygen, our body and cells also receive less oxygen, forcing our heart to work harder to pump oxygen throughout the body. The heart working overtime long term can lead to heart failure. Okay, let me knock on your door. I see y'all looking at me funny. Let me see if I can put it like this. One of the things that can limit your ability to breathe is the weight that you're carrying. And I'm not talking to everyone this morning, but for a few of those who are saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, but you're still taking high blood pressure medication. It's not because you're eating too much salt, but because of an environment that you cannot control. So as a consequence, I have a beating in my chest, a vein in my neck, a monkey on my back, a devil under my feet, and I'm just trying to find space to breathe. I've gotten more month than money. My boss would rather talk about me than to me. My family is falling apart. The devil is attacking my body. I'm just trying to keep this thing together, all in an effort to breathe. I'm working, but you're still behind on your bills. I have a roof over my head, but because of my work schedule, I'm living out of my car. I can't breathe at work, so I come to church waiting to exhale. When I do come to church, if I come to church at all with the weight of the world on my shoulders, I want to lift my hands and lay prostrate at the altar. I want to scream just for a little bit of relief. But I choose to sit there because I'm worrying about what church folks 2 sections over are looking at me and how they're looking at me funny, trying to figure out who I came here with and where I've been and how I picked up some weight. Then I got to deal with Negroes who have a title and think they can talk to me any type of way. I thought it was going to be different at church, but come to find out there's still cliques in the church and sections of who know the pastor, who's been here the longest, who's in First Lady's face. I just came here to get my word and go home, but people are bossing me around about where I can sit, where I can stand, where I can park, when I can leave, when I can stand up, when I can sit down. I'm just trying to find space. I'm just trying to find space to breathe. But God sent me here to tell 40 people over the course of 2 services who have literally had the wind knocked out of them for the last year, who has been suffocating in silence. God is about to breathe on you and cause you to receive a second wind. Now, this second wind is not going to cause you to win innately the battle, but it is going to give you strength to get off the mat so you can win the battle yourself. Y'all ain't gonna talk back to me. Not only will the wind help, not only will the wind, W-I-N-D, help you to win, but it will give you enough strength to sound the alarm. I found out over this weekend that most ambulances use a design base just like vans and pickup trucks. And when an ambulance is off duty, it is perceived by the Department of Transportation just to be a modified minivan. A regular van is not an ambulance because a regular van doesn't have a siren, and without a siren, it has no authority. But when the siren is on, it transforms into another vehicle, and by law, everything that's in its way has to move over. By law, whenever the siren is on, everything that's in its way has to move to the side. And God says, when I blow the wind of life back into you, I want you to turn your siren on. So whatever is in your way has to move over. In fact, can you shout this morning that I'm getting my second wind and I'm sounding the alarm? So whatever the enemy has in my way, it's got to move to the side. Y'all looking at me funny. I said, if there's anybody in the house with me who can testify that you feel God is going to give you your second wind, can you lift up holy hands? Can you open up your mouth and sound the alarm, letting the enemy know whatever is in my way, whatever's trying to block me, whatever's trying to stop me, in the name of the one who can turn water into wine, move out of my way. God told me to hurry up and get to voices because there are dry bones in the house. Dry bones in the house. And like the interrogative he gave Ezekiel in the 37th chapter, Son of man, can these bones live? He said, prophesy to the bones and tell them, O dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, I will cause breath to enter you, and you shall live. Somebody came into the sanctuary this morning because your bank account is dry, your business is dry, your goal setting is dry, your friendships are dry. Your love life is sure enough dry, but God is getting ready to perform supernatural CPR and cause the winds from the north, the south, the east, and the west to fill your lungs. And everything that was dead, dried up, God is getting ready to breathe into it again. In fact, turn to your neighbor, look at your neighbor, and tell them, in the words of Tony Braxton, come on, tell them. Say, in the words of Tony Braxton, breathe again. Come on, breathe, 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 breathe again. I know it's difficult, but breathe again. I know you wanted to throw in the towel, but breathe again. I know it felt like you were on the mat and you weren't going to get up, but God told me to tell somebody in the room to breathe again. And when you breathe again, you shall live and not die. In fact, He is going to blow love where there was no love. He's going to blow peace where there was no peace. He's going to blow joy where there was no joy. He's going to blow opportunity where there was no opportunity. He's going to blow creativity where there was no creativity. Thus saith the Lord, I'm going to open up the graves and bring you up from your graves and bring you back to the land of Israel, to the land flowing with milk and honey, and you shall know that I am the Lord your God. I will open up the graves and bring you out of the graves. I will put my spirit within you and you shall live. I will place you on your own soil, and then you shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken and it will act. Is there anybody in the room who wants God to breathe on them like never before? Look, I don't know who I'm talking to this morning, but I just feel like there's some individuals in the house who can testify, I just need space to breathe. I've been cornered and it feels like the walls are closing in on me. When I look to the left, it's not working. When I look to the right, it's not working. When I look in front of me, it's not working. When I look behind me, it's not working. But God sent me here to tell somebody that He's getting ready to breathe into your situation, and everything that was dead, everything that was in the grave, everything that you thought that was not going to get up, by Easter Sunday morning, it's going to rise early Sunday morning. Can you just lift up your heads? I'm done. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. So lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. If you want God to come into your situation, can you just open up your mouth and tell God to breathe on me? I don't have the capacity like I used to. I can't breathe in like I used to. My lungs can't fill with air like they used to. God, I need you to breathe on me. And there may be someone here who feels as if you have lost oxygen in your lungs, and the weight that you're carrying has caused you to lose breath. But I came by as a word from God to let you know, if you still have breath in your body, that's an indication that God still has an opportunity to turn your situation around. So don't wait until the battle is over, but shout now in advance for what God is getting ready to do. As I close, it was never more obvious to me than over the last maybe 2 months. My wife and I are pregnant, and within the last maybe month or so, she was okay. She could walk, up and down the street, walk, around the neighborhood. But lately she's been out of breath. She has to sit down every so often, and it kind of takes her by surprise because she's never been out of breath like this before. And it wasn't until I began to deal with this message that God began to tell me, Matthew, the reason why she's out of breath is because of what she's carrying. And she's just not breathing for herself anymore. She's breathing for that baby that's on the inside. And there's someone here who feels like, I don't know why this has become so difficult for me. I don't know why it feels like I can't breathe anymore. And God sent me here to tell somebody there's something on the inside of you.